When it comes to female superheroes, Wonder Woman was a pioneer. DC Comics debuted her character in 1941.
But for decades here, Wonder Woman was always drawn by male artists until a San Francisco woman had the chance to make history herself. As we do mark Women's History Month, KTVU's Claudine Wong sits down with the first woman to ever draw Wonder Woman for DC Comics.
She has lived in this home for decades, surrounded by a lifetime of collectibles. In this place filled with stories and art.
My name is Trina Robbins. I live here in this ancient house in San Francisco. I am 84 years young.
Trina Robbins describes herself in many ways: a feminist, an author, and a pioneer in the world of comic books. Her love of comics started when she was just a little girl.
Which comics did I like? The ones that starred women. The ones that starred men were very boring to me. I wasn't interested in those. So, you know, Wonder Woman, of course, but not just Wonder Woman. Mary Marvel, who was a girl, and all she had to do was say Shazam, and she became this superheroine. And it meant that you didn't have to wait to grow up to be a superheroine. You could be a girl and have superpowers.
One of her superpowers was her ability to draw. And as a young woman, she drew what she describes as little pictures on paper with speech balloons over them. In the 60s, an underground paper started publishing those drawings. Her work continued in the 70s when she moved to San Francisco.
In the 60s and the early 70s, really, I was one of the few women drawing comics, and the guys didn't like it. I mean, the guys really, you know, they acted as though I didn't exist, you know, but a lot of people loved my comics, and I was one of the founding mothers in 1972 of Women's Comics, which was an underground publication, an anthology of all women comic artists. You know, I was a pioneer, and I am a pioneer.
In the 80s, she went from one of a few to the first. That's when DC Comics decided its superheroes needed a new look.
Because, you know, Superman was 75 years old, and he still looks so young and is punching people out. So they had to redo it, you know, and they also redid Wonder Woman.
Who had been drawing Wonder Woman before this?
Oh, guys. It was 40 years of guys drawing Wonder Woman, not one woman. So, but in between creating the new Wonder Woman, they had 4 months of no Wonder Woman. This is the way I see it. It's a room full of editors, and they're saying, what should we do with Wonder Woman? And someone saying, well, we all know Trina likes Wonder Woman. Why don't we just give it to her for 4 months? And if she screws it up, it doesn't matter, because we'll have a guy doing it next. So I did 4 issues of Wonder Woman, and that made me the first woman to draw a Wonder Woman comic.
She says she drew Wonder Woman as she knew her. Strong, muscular, independent.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, she's a fighter.
4 issues later, she had cemented herself in history. Or as she likes to say, her story, not his.
Oh, God, I'm a feminist, sure. And a her historian, which is what I call myself.
But she's never only focused on herself. She's no longer drawing, but she is writing, publishing more than 10 books about women, including one on the women cartoonists of the Jazz Age. Stories, she says, that need to be told.
Yes, and that's what I do. I mean, there was a time when people had never heard of these artists, and now they know who these artists are. And everyone who opens this book and looks at the art goes, wow, how come I never saw this before? Well, you never saw it before because the guys don't write about women.
And you do.
And I do.
She writes about women. She attends conventions. Her schedule never stops. But one thing can still make her pause. Trina Robbins can still get swept away by a good comic book.
Oh, of course I do. I'll be cleaning up and pick one up, you know, to put it in its place and suddenly sit down and start reading it. Oh, yes.
In San Francisco, Claudine Wong, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
And Robbins says she is currently producing a pro-choice comic book anthology. The profits from that, she says, will go to Planned Parenthood.